Hey guys, it's Ihasnotomato here, and today I'm going to be doing my last video on the Meet Your Match update. This is going to be my final thoughts of the update as a whole. Now it's been released for a week, and yeah. So, jumping right into it, I want to say straight off the bat that I kind of had a whole list of like pros and cons to the update, which admittedly they actually released a patch this morning that's sort of retconned everything that I was going to say. Just about everything. There's one or two things which they haven't fixed yet, but we'll get into that later. So the first thing I want to talk about is casual mode. Now, casual mode has sparked a bit of controversy over the last the last week. Because it has effectively completely deleted all Valve pubs, which a lot of people were unhappy about, and I'll admit I was sort of with them. Particularly on the first few days where a lot of it was wrong. Like we got penalized for abandoning matches, and there was no vote kicking or anything like that. And they fixed all of this stuff. Like I said, some of the biggest problems I had was that the teams, everyone's starting to really miss auto balance, because when people leave the match, like apparently I guess it was some bug that people wouldn't join. They wouldn't join in progress matches, and then it just became really one-sided, and it was terrible. But they fixed that, so now people will join in slots and stuff like that. Dominations and stuff were broken, but now they're back. Everyone thought that they were actually properly deleted from the game, but no, they're back. I knew that they were. That there was something wrong there, because there are so many domination related achievements and stuff that they wouldn't just get rid of. Yeah, vote kicking was also a problem. There were hackers, but no one could do anything about it, so everyone just had to leave. And yeah. So when it comes down to casual mode, what do I think of it? What do you think of casual mode? Well, I don't mind it. I'm an optimist. I'm curious to see where it's going to go. I think that's a really big step for Valve to take with TF2. I think it's a really, really big step. And whether or not it's in the right or wrong direction, I can't say. I think even more time is going to have to tell how people are going to respond to this in the future, because I'll admit, I kind of miss the just jumping into a match at any point, just finding a server like, oh, let's go to that one, and bringing a friend, whatever, and just having fun, and then, just sitting on the map for a while. You know what I mean? Just round after round of whatever map or server it would be, and just having a good time. I do sort of miss that. But at the same time, I'm really enjoying this more structured way of playing. I found that there were quite a few times throughout the update where when everyone was there, and everyone was playing and focusing on the objectives and working together and doing this whole, like an actual, felt like teams, actually, helping each other out and doing our best and all that. It was actually surprisingly incredibly fun. It was like really, really fun, like almost more fun than I normally have. I didn't feel like a kind of lone guy. I felt like that we were a team and it all worked out. And I don't know, man, like even with no communication, like we were all set on winning because we wanted to win. For no other real reason. We just want to win. That was cool, In pubs and stuff, like, although people wanted to win, there are a lot of people who, just want to fuck around, which is also fun. I like just fucking around, but I also like winning. I don't know, man. Like, I found when it worked, it worked. And when it didn't work, it really did not work. Like I said, sometimes, like, auto balance just wasn't a thing, and the teams could be enormously unbalanced, and it was terrible, But it, yeah, they seem to have fixed a lot of these problems. They even said that they have a find a game. No, I've read this wrong. Sorry. They've added like create server and stuff like that. There still isn't like a sort of find your servers and stuff, but you can now select specific maps and all that, which is really cool. I'm glad they added that. And that once again would have been a complaint, but they mentioned that in the blog post, and they did fix it eventually, and yeah, all that is gone. But there is one major complaint that I still have, and they haven't mentioned it, and they haven't fixed it as far as I can tell. I know they haven't fixed it because I was playing earlier to get footage for this video, and that is server location matchmaking. I don't know how else to say it, but let me just put it this way. When I live in Australia, I go to when I was allowed to pick what servers I went to, I always went to Sydney servers, as you would imagine, because Sydney is in Australia and I get amazing ping there and I get to play to my full potential. What I don't like is when I have to play in Singapore, where my ping is not very good but still playable. And what I really don't like is when I'm sent to Hong Kong, where my ping is virtually unplayable. And I don't know why the game decides that when it's searching for a server that, oh yeah, Hong Kong, throw them in that one. Why? Why put me in a Hong Kong server? I'm just going to leave immediately. Because I can't play on Hong Kong servers. Hong Kong is like the opposite end of the earth. Why send me there? My ping is unplayable. Like, I don't understand why this is a thing. And this is sort of a segue because it also carries through into competitive mode. Oh yes, we're going to talk about competitive as well. Why, when I'm playing competitive, where you have to bring your A game, am I sent to Hong Kong? These things, they don't match, guys. They don't stick together. And if you throw me in a Hong Kong server and expect me to do my best, you're asking for the impossible. It's just not going to happen. And it quite infuriates me to a certain extent, where there have been a couple of times where I've just been like, I just want to play a game of TF2, and I go on to a casual server or whatever, and I'm sent to Hong Kong, and I'm like, I can't play this. You know, to a frustrating extent. I don't understand why this is an issue. Just make it so I can only go to Australian servers, or at least like add an option. You know, maybe I'm missing an option, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I find particularly in competitive mode where it is vital for you to and I know that they understand people, like the need for people to maximize efficiency with the whole, now they made it so your view models are lowered and to give you more view so you can see more and all that. But if I'm sent to a server on the other side of the world, it doesn't matter where my view model is, I'm still going to do shit. And that's my biggest complaint with, honestly, this entire update, which you could say is minor, but also major. So, I don't know, that's my number one kind of, please fix that. It puts me off of both casual and competitive to a certain extent. Casual, less so, because I can just leave and find a new one. But competitive is like, oh god, I gotta play on this. But, segueing into competitive, it doesn't necessarily always last long. Now, I played a couple of competitive games, so I could have kind of full coverage for this update on my thoughts and stuff like that. And I gotta say that it's all the pieces are there, and they're all sort of working, but it's probably not working the way they intended. My number one question for competitive is, how severe is the penalty for leaving? Because I played a couple of games, and every single one of those games, at least one person would leave. Yes, that's right. Allow me to explain my first game that I played, and it's probably be playing in the background right now. We go in. Our team all kind of comes together. We're a half-decent team. We're like, in terms of classes and stuff. We go up to the middle point, and I'm immediately ambushed by like 3 scouts on the enemy team. Or 3 or 4, I don't even know. I couldn't count. Which I can only assume, like I haven't looked through the footage, I can't exactly see when. But then 2 people on our team decide, scouts, nah, fuck it, and then they leave. The problem is that they are the only people who can rejoin in that slot. So anyway, we're down on to 4 people versus like 5 or 6 now. So the teams are already unbalanced, and there's nothing we can do about it. unless we all leave, which the game heavily encourages, I suppose, because it consistently sends you a message in the box saying, someone has left the game, then we'll be punished. You can leave if you want, but there'll be no penalty. And it keeps sending you that message every like 2 seconds. It's weirdly annoying. I don't know why. But like, I don't know what the penalty for leaving is, but apparently it's not severe enough because people left every single game. The second game I played, our team was doing we like, it was a fair match. I thought it was a really good match, and our team won the first round, and then I guess people on the enemy team said, "Oh, I don't want to play if they're going to win a round," and then they left, and by the end of the match, and I'll probably show footage of this as well, I shit you not, it was like 5v2. That's just not fair and not fun. And like, I don't see why so many people would leave. I don't see why anyone would leave, because one person leaves and it ruins the game for everyone. That's it. No experience, nothing. There's no point playing anymore. Go back into the queue and wait again. Which I should also mention real quick, the queue times were atrocious on day one, and I think that they've slowly gotten better and better and better and better, to the point at which, like, I used to minimize my game, and now I don't even minimize it because I know it's just going to happen pretty soon. So it lets me set up music, and like enough time to set up some music maybe, and then get back into the game, and I like that, and I appreciate that. And yeah, so if I had to say 2 things about competitive that I would want to be... 3 things. 1 is send me to a server where I can play the game. 2 is, at the very least, punish people more severely, because apparently whatever the punishment is, it's not severe enough and people just do it all the time. Or at least give us some experience for seeing the game through to the end. Something, even if it's less than you'd normally get. Give us something, please. Because it makes everything pointless. I am still sitting on 0 experience, despite winning one of my matches. And like, because like the very first match we lost, of course, and then the second match we won. I haven't played anything. I've only played 2 matches, because honestly, like, I was a bit put off. And I didn't get any experience. I'm still sitting at 0 experience right now because just people decided they didn't want to play, and therefore ruined my experience as well. So, whatever, man. Whatever. And my other thing would be maybe put a class limit on, maybe 2 people per class. Just because, that scout rush kind of strategy, it's probably going to work a lot of the time, and it's just kind of, it's not fun. It's not fun to fight against. And yeah. Sorry, quick yawn there. So, yeah, and my last thing, of course, would be make it so I can play in my own country or whatever. I think I already said that. But, yeah. But, once again, like I said with casual, when all the pieces are there, 6v6, which was usually at the beginning of the match, it was really fun. My heart was pounding. I was like, there is pressure. Everyone is playing their best. This is fun. It's really, really fun. But, like I said, it's short-lived because people leave. So, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what other people's experiences with matchmaking were. Maybe I was just unlucky. And that's just how it became for me. And I'll be playing more of it, of course, later down the line. But, like, I don't know. They're just kind of really big, glaring issues to me, which I'm not interested in experiencing again. I'm not interested in playing a competitive scene where it feels like anyone can fuck me over by just pressing the escape button. You know what I mean? But, yeah. I find it really, really fun when it all works. For both casual and competitive, when it works. I think there are still some things to iron out, kinks to iron out, and I think I've yet to play casual since this update this morning came out, and I reckon it's probably improved once again. Another thing, I don't know if I've mentioned it. I've actually tried to record this twice, so this could be why I've forgotten. The casual mode level system. I really enjoy it. I like it a lot. I really like achieving something, winning and getting that extra experience of doing well, having a really long game and just having it all flow in. It's very satisfying. Oh, I enjoy it a lot. Oh, yes. And even though the only reward you sort of get is just like your medal changing, that itself is sort of its own reward, because like, cool, I got a new medal, look at it, ooh! And you flick it around, and it's satisfying, you know. And I get to show my friends like, well, oh dude, what does the level 10 medal look like? Or like, oh, we'll find out. I'll get to level 10 next game, you know. That's really, really cool. I enjoy it a lot. I've always wanted a leveling system, and I'm glad we have it. I would like it if the leveling system did anything else though, maybe. Like, I know in Overwatch they give us a loot crate every level. That would be nice, but I don't see Valve doing anything like that. But maybe, I don't know, like a level thing for competitive mode. So you have to be level 20, 25, 30 to get into competitive. That'd be nice. I don't know if that's a thing or not. I mean, obviously not. I'm only like level 12, 13, I think I am in casual mode right now. I'm not sure. But yeah. What else is there? Oh, I don't know how the leveling system works as well if you go into an open slot game either, because you know, I would just make it that you get less experience or something like that, you know. But anyway, yeah, I guess I should talk about the other things, like the taunts and stuff. I have no real opinion on them. I don't have any of them yet. We're well and good. The new printing items, I'll admit, it's kind of interesting seeing people jumping around with knives and backstabbing people with that new knife and using it as a wrench and stuff. That's kind of cool. I wouldn't mind getting it because I'm a weapon collector, but yeah, you know, it's all well and good. But they're just promotional items. I don't really feel like I need to make a section about them, but you know. Admittedly, like other than competitive and casual mode, this update is in a sense sort of bare in terms of content they added to the game. It was really to focus on this new game mode, competitive, and you know, it's there and it has all the pieces. It just needs to be ironed out a little bit more and it'll be perfect. I think it could be absolutely incredible, really fun, like really well done, and like even inviting. Like I might even like really get into competitive, but it's just not there, not quite yet. And I can easily see them ironing out a lot of the things that I've talked about today. So yes, this was my last episode on Meet Your Match. Next update, the next kind of TF2 videos I'm hoping to do will be the Meet versus Match stuff, because hopefully they haven't said any word on it yet, like when it's going to happen or anything like that, but the Pyro versus Heavy update comes out, I'll be covering that in full, probably in very similar style to this, where like if it's a daily thing, I'll do it daily when the update comes out, you know, my thoughts on it and all that. I'll be doing all that when the update comes out. Right now it looking like Pyro's possibly got to win, which means I've got even more content to do, which I'm very excited for. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this, I guess, kind of sub-series, if you will. I think it's kind of cool, a little section of history, of TF2 history documented, and I think that's a really kind of cool thing. I've actually been considering doing a series where I talk about past updates that a lot of people might not have experienced, and just talking about my experience with them, but in a probably more structured, scripted format, of course. But anyway, I have been Ihasnotomato. Please let me know down below what you guys think of this update as a whole, what you think that works, what doesn't work, what should be fixed or added, or whatever have you. In the description, in the comments, sorry, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Little deep respects and wizard, well, an episode of words, guzzling with tiny gizzards, soda fountain special birds. Little deep respects and wizard.